Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open the dense, aggressive lyrics of an underground rapper to uncover a story of creative death and a really furious rebirth. So the track is Too Much Thought by Mogo Fan, and man, it just throws you right into the deep end with this potent opening metaphor. It paints this picture of an artist who's trapped and buried by his own self-destruction.
And you gotta understand, this track isn't just some collection of boasts and rhymes. It's a raw, unfiltered story. It's all about fighting to revive a part of himself, this creative persona that he thought was gone for good, and his anger at how the world changed while he was gone.
Okay, so to really get what this comeback is all about, you have to understand the fall first, right? We need to look at why he felt like, in his own words, a person buried and left in the cold.
And his reason for being gone? It's brutally direct. He's talking about a complete creative paralysis. It's a condition that every artist is terrified of. And he describes it like a sickness that left him totally blind, with no way forward.
Now, this is what's so interesting. He doesn't just call it writer's block, he calls it art block. He makes it his own personal monster, something that was blocking his very identity as a rapper. And to really hammer this point home, he uses this perfect, kind of brutal cultural timestamp, comparing his creative attempts to Vine. Just think about that irony for a second. His suffering felt like it went on forever, but anything he actually made just vanished in a flash. But see, this fight isn't just with himself, not at all. As soon as he's done talking about his own struggles, he turns his sights outward. He looks at the modern music industry, and, well, he is not happy with what he sees. And right here, this slide just lays out the whole conflict perfectly. You've got his side, the old school ethos, the slow, painstaking grind, and then you have the new way, a hollow rise to fame, on platforms like TikTok, where you get the stardom before you even have the music.
Yeah, and he does not pull any punches here. He's basically calling a whole generation of artists frauds. He's accusing them of selling a lifestyle to their fans that they've never actually lived. It's a straight-up shot at what he thinks is a totally inauthentic scene. Okay, so after tearing down the whole modern scene as fake, he's got to back it up, right? He has to build his own case. And that's what this next part is all about, establishing his own credentials. Not with trends or followers, but with years of lived-in, gritty experience. And just look at the imagery he uses. It's so visceral, so specific. He's not just vaguely talking about making money. He's giving you this detailed picture of making moonshine. He's grounding his story in a very real, very tangible reality to prove he's the real deal. He's also really smart about placing himself in the timeline of hip-hop. He puts himself in the booth right after a legend like Eminem, and way before a current start like Jelly Roll got huge. It's his way of saying, look, I've been here the whole time. I was honing my skills while you all were just chasing whatever was popular. And then he caps it all off with this warning. He's not framing his authentic life as something glamorous you should aspire to. No, he's basically saying it's a difficult, almost dangerous path. It's a way of separating himself, making his experience something hard-won and exclusive. So once he's laid all that groundwork, once he's established his credentials, the whole tone of the song just flips. It moves from being defensive to a full-on offensive. This is the sound of an artist reasserting his skill, his power, and his place in the game. And this declaration is just so blunt. There's no metaphor, no fancy wordplay, just a simple statement of fact that sets the stage for the lyrical assault that's about to come. He then leans into a classic hip-hop boast, a perfect example of braggadocio. He's claiming his wordplay, his punchlines, are so physically impactful they can literally knock your teeth out. His lyrics have real force. And this entire barrage of boasts, it all builds to this one clear statement of intent. Remember how he was blinded by our block? Well, now his vision is crystal clear. He's here to dominate, and he can already see the win. And he lays out his entire agenda for you in these 3 clear, brutal steps. He repeats this like a mantra in the song: eliminate the competition, reclaim his own power for his own sake, and solidify his reputation as someone to be feared. So after this entire journey, from creative death through a critique of the industry to a violent rebirth, what is the core message we're supposed to take away from Too Much Thought?
In the end, it all circles right back to this central, painful conflict. The whole song is about the deeply personal and difficult fight to resurrect an authentic self, a version of him he had tried to leave behind, in a world that he feels increasingly rewards the superficial.
When you boil it all down, this entire track is just one long, aggressive argument for craft over clout. It's a defense of choosing substance over fleeting viral fame. It's a defense of taking the difficult path.
And that leaves us with a final question that really extends far beyond this one song. Moko's Rage forces us to consider what we value most, not just in our artists, but in our culture as a whole. Is it the carefully built career or the perfectly timed viral moment? That's the question at the heart of it all.